Welcome back to the Citystead. I'm Josh, and today I'm going to teach you how to turn some trash into food. Alright, well technically we're not going to turn this into food, obviously, but we are going to use this to grow some of our own food. If you have any little ones around your house, there's a good chance you have some of these items, and some of these items are just going to show up at your house unexpected, you know, like junk mail newspaper, always showing up, right? You can't get rid of it. And if you have kids, you're going to have little milk cartons. You might have some kind of applesauce container, and you also probably have some wine. Alright, so this is 3 simple ways to reuse some of the stuff you have coming into your house, possibly if you have little ones. We live here on an urban lot. We don't have apple trees. We can't make our own applesauce. The kids still love applesauce. And sometimes when they go to school or trips or anything like that, it's good to have those little cups of applesauce that they can eat. As you can see, little guy did not like this blue raspberry applesauce, which I think he was actually missing out. It's not bad. So, I'm going to finish this. Alright, so these are some applesauce cups that we've been collecting over quite a while here. And fruit cups, whatnot you have. And they're actually like a really good size for potting seeds in. If you're going to grow like maybe a tomato or a cucumber or something, it's not a terrible place to start. You're going to fill it all the way to the top with dirt. Soil, and then we're going to put our seed in it, and we're going to water it. Now, if you're worried about drainage on this because it does not have any holes in it, what I got here is a little corn on the cob poker, and we can just poke right into the bottom of that, give us a couple holes for water. A little bit harder than I thought. There you go. Now we got a couple holes in there. The water can drain out when we put it in our tray. It'll be perfect for starting some seeds in. So another thing you might be able to get your hands on with some kids around is little milk containers, right? So these little milk containers are pretty easy to find if you know kids or have them around. So we're gonna take our milk carton, and it's a little tall for me, and I don't like the top how it opens, and it's just kind of loose material there, not really easy to work with. So I'm gonna take my scissors here, make a little cut down the side, boop, and then we're just gonna cut that top layer off. And voila, we have us a little planter. So what I like about these is that we know they're waterproof, so they'll hold up really well as you're watering things. Maybe not waterproof, but we know they hold liquid, right? So as we're watering these, we know that they're gonna hold up a little bit. They're not gonna deteriorate on us. They're gonna be easy to, move around, move about the cabin, if you will. Poke some holes for drainage in this one. A little bit easier than that other thing. So now we can fill it with dirt, put our seed in there, and we'll be all set for planting inside of that. And these are really deep, actually, so they're probably pretty good for starting like a tomato. You'll be able to have it in there for quite a while before you have to worry about transplanting it. And I think that's a really, really useful thing. And the other thing I got is like this little cereal bowl. You ever get those like cereal samples almost? Those little things. I get them from hotels and stuff sometimes because I travel for work. Also, another little container that's perfect, for starting seed. We can just pop a couple holes in it. Probably easier to do this one from the top. And this has a good amount of space, so if you're growing a couple things in here, it'd be easy to split them apart. Or if you wanted to just start something that has a big root system in it, you could start it in here, or just something that you wanted a little more space so you're not disturbing the roots when you're planting. This thing's a perfect thing, and it's something you might have laying around if you travel like I do. They're super easy to get because they're at every hotel continental breakfast. All you have to do is stop down there and grab one. So the last one I got for you is gonna involve a little more fun for us adults. So what you're gonna need is a wine bottle, or I guess any bottle will do as long as it has an indent, but a wine bottle will make it more fun because you got to drink all that wine out of there first. And this one is a Cherry Adore chocolate cherry wine. The wife and I really enjoyed it, and it was gone fairly quickly. The other thing you're gonna need is a newspaper, like this local newspaper that gets sent to us every Thursday. I never read it, but they send it anyways. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, lay it out like that, about halfway up on the wine bottle. You're gonna place it, you're gonna roll it in there. Just like so. And then we're gonna take this and we're gonna fold this down into here for the base. I might have done it a little bit too long. I should have tore some of this off. We'll go like that just to show you how to do it. And then when you take the bottle out, you got yourself a little paper pot. And the really cool thing about this is you're going to use this paper pot. This is actually biodegradable, so you can put something in here with the soil, put a seed in there, grow the seedling, and then transfer this directly into the ground with no need to pull it out or anything like that. This, you're going to have to pull it out of, and so same thing with this. You're going to have to pull it out, but you can reuse these over and over again for seed starting. Same with these. You can use them as long as they hold up. But this is a really good idea because it's completely biodegradable. You fill it with soil, and then you stick it down in the ground. The roots will tear through this paper because it's not that strong, especially once it starts getting wet over and over and over again. It'll rip and tear down and break down really, really easy and fast.
One fine day in Kilkenny in September of the year, our hurling boys were coming home from Cork and weed and cheer. The people filled the streets at night all wearing black and gold. They looked like giant bumblebees all swarming down the road. Sing up Kilkenny, up the cats, hooray the boys are coming back. So raise a flag up to the sky, wave that gold and black.
Now you might be thinking, what's the benefit of using these over just getting a plastic tray, something like this? Now, if I was gonna plant a bunch of seeds and give out some starts to people, chances are I would never see this back again, right? Whereas if I give them this with a seed in it, I don't care if I see it back again because, you know, I got my one big use out of it, which was the applesauce for my children. And now it can move on to its next home. And if I do keep it, or if I keep it, it's just another thing I have on hand that makes it easier for starting seeds. And sometimes getting them out of here with the roots out on them is a little tricky. It might be a little bit easier to pull it out of something like this or the milk crate. So that's why I kind of did it that way. So here at the Citystead, we are trying to give out a bunch of starts this year. We want to help a lot of people start their very first gardens, and that's kind of why we were thinking of ideas like this. Something we could start some seeds in and be able to give to people. Just, you know, take it off our hand. We already got our use out of it, and then they can reuse those if they can't find themselves some seed starting trays, or if, you know, they just want to reuse them, because it's good to not have just single-use plastics. If we can find other options for them, that's always better. And these are not hard to store. You can stack them up. I mean, look how many we got right here, right? I can stack these up just like I do my regular old starting trays, and I can store it somewhere in the greenhouse here on a shelf in the garage or whatnot. And then of course these ones are the best option because they completely just biodegrade and disappear. So absolutely nothing wrong with using these. These are probably your best option, and they hold together, as you can see, very nice after you fill it with soil. Now once they get wet, they will be a little harder to handle and move around, so I would suggest putting them in a tray and leaving them there as you water them, and then when you're ready to plant it, that's the only time I would move it, because it might fall apart a little bit on you. But there you have it. There are a few very easy reusable, single plastic reusable seed starting options for you to get those seeds started. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Remember to be bold and grow bold, and as always, I'll see you guys in that very next video.